What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. We are on day 18. I really can't believe it. Day 18. We're going through 31 conversations in 31 days for the spooky season. We've had incredible guests, uh, some new, some returning. And tonight's guest is one that I got recommended to about a year ago. And even before that, whether I realized it or not, I loved her content. So it's really an honor to bring her on the show. She's a YouTuber herself, as I mentioned, horror enthusiast, aficionado. Um, Hot Ghoul Summer, or autumn in this case, continues because we had the Ghoul Girls on last night, two of my friends, Lisa and Meredith. That's what they call themselves, along with our friend Julie. And tonight, we have the lady here tonight. We have Kat from Reanimateher. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me on here.
It is my pleasure.
Yeah.
And long time coming.
Yeah, planning into a year, right?
Yeah. So before we even get started, I have to share this with you because it was at this point I was like, I think I even made the sound in the video. I go, huh. So I'm just gonna let you see this. Finally, who would you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
Oh, I'm gonna start because I have to shout her out. I love her. So, Kat
you can.
from Reanimate Her, she is
I'm
awesome.
unfamiliar with her.
Yes, Kat Port. If you can have her on there, we love her videos. We think she is just so nice, so awesome. And when I say knows her horror, knows her horror. Yeah, so definitely, if you could get her on there, that would be great.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Double Feature. I appreciate the both of you.
Shout out to Mika and Kara. You don't understand. It's so weird when they said that. I'm like, I don't know her. And then it's like I went to the YouTube page and I'm like, wait a minute, yes I do. Because I don't even remember, when did you do the thing with Sledgehammer Horror the first time?
Oh, that's probably, I want to say 2 years ago. The first time I was on there was a bit back.
Yeah.
And I was on there recently this year again.
So
I
I
say
think
2 years.
it had to be the first time then, because just going back from pandemic on, you watch so much content.
Yeah.
I was on YouTube, I was over on Twitch watching gaming, DJs, and movie content. So it just starts to all blend together.
That
So
it
when they
does.
said your name, I was like, I don't know her. But then I was like, oh, I do. So yes. So this is a year in the making because they were on my spooky season last year. We had
Nice.
a lot less guests last year. I think I had 13 people. Now I just flip those numbers around. So,
Nice.
it's nice to have you on.
Great to be here. I'm excited.
Tell the people how you started with the Reanimate Her channel and all the different places where they can find you.
I started content creation about 7 years ago. I was streaming horror video games like Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight. And that just grew from video gaming to now hosting Coffee Chat of Horrors, which is a live horror web show where I deep dive into horror movies. So you can find me if you want to see that here on YouTube and on Twitch as Reanimate Her. All my branding is the same.
Yeah, that's why I just put that banner up. I'm like, it'll be harder to miss you than to find you. That's how I see it. And nothing else works, reanimateher.com. So,
yep, there you go.
I see that we are not alone as we are chatting. People are pouring in. So before we get started, let's say a few hays and see who's joining us tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us in the chat, joining us in the live stream on YouTube. So happy to have you here, as well as everyone on the replay. If you've been here before, welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome. Let's see. So we have Jeff saying good evening. What's up, sir? We got Magic Hands. What's up? We got my BFF, Melissa. She's another 365 horror girl. So
nice. Yes.
You ladies of horror need to just stick together because you are all awesome. Talking about awesome, there's Mika. How you doing tonight? What's up, Corey? We got Movie Hunter 2020 telling everyone to smash that like button. Thanks for hanging out. We got Jordo saying good evening. Yeah, I finally did it. It took me a year, but I got her on. We got Lance Jackson saying, what's up? Drawing TV show logos and movie logos. That's pretty awesome. There's Kira saying woohoo. I like that they chime in separately. Yeah, I'm excited as well. We're going to have fun. We got the monkey joining us saying hello to all.
That's my buddy Monkey Van Meowton.
We got Adrian James saying hello. Just subscribe, Lance Jackson, to your channel. So
thank you.
Great to have that. We got Brother Dell saying what's up. He has a channel as well. They do movie swaps. So I haven't seen something before. You haven't seen something before. I rewatch, you watch. First time we talk about it. Vice versa.
Very cool.
As well as other content, but that's the one I really enjoy. Let's see. Yeah, there are a lot of 365 horror ladies. And the thing I like about it is getting to know them because, I don't know, I'm sure you've experienced this where people are like, you're faking, it's a fraud, you're doing it, you like the fright rags or you like the mask or whatever, but it's not real. And I hate to hear that. So I get my best recommendations from my lady friends who are into horror. So I know it's real for you. I know.
Oh yeah, you should see my collection.
I'm sure you have a pretty dope collection too. Are you into a lot of physical media as well?
Oh yeah, I think physical media is super important. We have to have physical media because if we allow it all go into the cloud and digitally, some of our favorite movies, like one of mine is Cannibal Holocaust, that would disappear like that if we did not have physical media.
Yeah, and then people will think that Blair Witch was the first found footage movie.
Right?
So with that in mind, I finally went and picked up my order for yesterday for Wicker Man. It's funny, I've never owned this movie, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and the set that I wanted was the big wooden one, and Lord help me if I could get my hands on that at the time. So, hey, Steelbook, 20-something bucks. It's really the movie that I care about.
Yeah, for sure. But getting that collector's part is always nice, right? That's always the gravy on the mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yep, and we all kick ass. Yes, you do. All my lady horror fans. All
that we do.
Bubba is animatronic too. Nice.
That guy behind me, yeah, he's huge. He's 6 foot and he moves. I have him off right now because he scares my chihuahua.
Yes, that was going to be one of my questions. I see you got a puppy there. I want to hear all about the puppy.
Oh yeah, that's Mr. Chico. I don't know if you can see him now, but
I saw
he's down there.
So maybe I don't know if he came back or not.
He's down there. He has a blanket that he lays next to me because he loves being like either on top of me or right next to me. But you'll see him like move his blanket around and you'll be like, what the hell is that moving in the background? It's my dog. Just
yeah. I have 2 little hooligans. They're both Yorkie mixes. One is a Yorkie poodle. The other one is a Yorkie dachshund. And she's my shadow. That's what my friend Melissa calls her, my shadow. So if I'm sitting at my desk, sometimes I'm like, work. And she's like, you too far away. So then I have to like put her on the lap and you just see like a little top bow in the bottom of the frame. But
yep.
Work from home is what you get.
That is, I have a cat. Her name is, I have a few cats, but Fusa loves her 15 minutes of fame. And she is famous for shutting my stream off or muting me during a video recording or doing some shenanigans because of showing her butthole on screen. Like, come on. No, we don't want to see that.
So quick behind the scenes. I don't even realize if you knew it or not, but you got a quick phone call from me on Instagram earlier.
Yeah, I did. I was at work. I seen
That
it.
it was not me, and it was not intentional. That was my shadow. That was Miss Ahsoka. She just put up on the screen, and next thing you know, she's calling Cat. So,
Yeah,
let's
that's what they
see.
do.
Sailor Moon says, "Love you, lady."
Oh, Sailor. Love you
John
too.
Joe Juggalo on the check-in. I can
Nice.
tell your friends because they're all with the rah.
Yeah, I let my people know. I let my friends know. Look, talking about fur balls, here she is.
Mhm.
She's like, "Oh no, this bitch is on camera. I got to make my 15."
No, I gotta give you some shine. You get the zoom. You get the zoom.
Here, say hi to everybody, Fusa.
Aw, pretty, pretty.
Yeah, she's a sweet girl.
What's up, Hall& Oates? Thanks for
Please don't
hanging out.
turn my stuff off.
So many horror girls this month. Isn't this a treat? They are a lifeblood of the community that makes the heart of spooky season beat. May she enjoy the conversation more than a clown getting part 3. Mhm. I like that one. I like that one. Good. That's what I thought
Nice.
it was before. My bad, monkey. When I saw your friend come in, I was like, the monkey changed his name. No, this is the OG, the original, the monkey. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Team Fusa. Nice. Yeah, cats have a way of making themselves known.
That they do.
I haven't had one since I lived in my college dorm. And the only reason I got that is because of church and Pet Cemetery.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
She didn't like when we brought over lady friends for the evening.
Oh, it gets jealous.
The following week, every time we came close, I was like, okay, I get the message.
Yep.
um, let's see. So the channel. Oh, where did you come up with the concept to spread the positivity every day?
Oh,
I
that I
enjoy
do.
that.
I do that on the Twitter. Well, they call it X now.
No, I don't like that
I don't like it either. I still
because
call it Twitter.
I just feel like if I'm opening a program called X, everyone's
It
gonna try
feels
to
like
hit me with
porn.
their OnlyFans or something, you know?
Yeah, well, the icon looks like a little porn icon, right? It's
Mhm.
black with the white X, and it's just like,
A little sketchy.
it looks like porn.
Yeah,
I'm not against porn or anything, but how do you explain what the X app is when
yeah.
people aren't like social on Twitter and stuff?
I'm not expecting, what do they call them? I'm not expecting like a daily Bible testimonial or something when I open up X.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh man. So you do it mostly on Twitter, that's what we'll call it.
Yeah, on Twitter. If you are on Twitter and you look for me, it's Reanimator with an underscore after the R. You'll know the difference between me and somebody that's named Reanimator that doesn't go on their Twitter.
Mm, yeah, I do enjoy that. I enjoy the Instagram posts as well.
Thanks.
It's just because it's like a little ray of positivity to get the day started, and it's a nice
Yeah,
touch.
I think we kind of need that. It's also I do it. It's really more of a selfish thing because I do it for myself to keep a reminder that no matter what's going on in my life, there is always something positive to stay focused on. And so it's just more for me like an affirmation. But if it makes someone else's day turn out great, then
Mhm.
why not, right?
Yeah, and I love that you do it after meditation too. Big,
Mm.
very big,
Yeah, meditation. I love
very
that
big.
stuff.
So we're backstage before we came on, and I'm listening to her talk, and I've heard the voice before, but it's kind of like it gets deeper as you get more conversational. And I'm
Yeah,
like, where is she from? She sounds familiar. Where is she from? And then she said she was born in.
New York, Long Island. Can never get rid of that New York
Can't
accent.
see it, but there's my NY. Anywhere I go, I represent. So yes,
Nice.
for sure. Brooklyn and then Long Island myself. Southern state.
Nice. Long Island is yeah, Suffolk County where I
Mhm.
grew up at.
Cold winters.
Yeah, and I moved to a place that has even colder winters. The hell's wrong with me?
That's right. She's a nice Canadian girl now.
That I am.
Very nice. So, what we've been doing is the end of every conversation, I ask the same 5 questions. I call it the 5 takes. So for spooky season, we're doing a little bit of a remix on the 5 takes. So our questions are going to be kind of edged toward that. So 5 questions. Most of the time, we'll focus on question 2 because that's where we're going to talk some movies. We'll try to stay spoiler free as much as possible for those new to the program. But I'm ready if you are.
I am. Let's go.
Cool. Number 1. I know the answer to this, but I love the story. Name the horror movie that made you fall in love with the genre.
Night of the Living Dead. It's not my first horror movie I seen, but it was the first horror movie that I understood. At 5, I saw Friday the 13th, which I really didn't know what the hell was going on. But as a little bit older, Night of the Living Dead introduced me to the zombie era, or the ghouls, really. And I fell in love with it. It was black and white, which made it scarier. I seen a recolor version of it, and then I seen the remake in the 90s. But still nothing like the original. And when I grew up, there was we had a rabbit ear tubed TV, right? You only had like 13 channels on that.
Yeah.
So seeing Night of the Living Dead on there was fun. It was an experience, and I fell in love with that film. That brought me into more horror.
Do you remember that feeling of like the attraction? Was there fear, anything like that?
I thought it was crazy that there are people eating other people. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're in love, just right in.
Yep. Then my grandma started introducing me to a whole bunch of other stuff, all the Universal monsters, and
This is the second night in a row we get a cool grandma who either told, like my friend said last night that her grandmother told horror movie synopsis or storylines as bedtime stories.
Interesting. That's
So it was kind of
awesome.
like, so there was this guy and he would come in people's dreams. You know, it was something like that. And everybody had to
Nightmares.
sleep, though. But imagine having a grandma like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Pretty
fun.
cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, we got some New Yorkers checking in here. Della's
Nice.
from Queens. Used to go to Sunrise Theater in Nassau all the time. Yep, right over the county line. I remember
Yep,
that.
I've been to Nassau Coliseum quite a few times as well.
Few concerts there, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Monster trucks, too.
Ooh. It says here you need to move back to the East Coast. Good pizza here. I guess
There
you don't
is
have
no
good
pizza
where
like New York pizza in the friggin' world. I will tell you that right now. Nobody has pizza like New York. I don't give a shit where you're from. I will fight and die on that hill. Garlic knots, breakfast sandwiches, fried eggs, bacon on a roll with a little bit of salt and pepper. You get your tea or your coffee from the deli. New York's got the best food. And I lived in numerous places throughout North America. Ain't
you are
nothing
speaking
coming
to my heart
close.
right now. Speaking to my heart. Coming home from a late night, bacon, egg, and cheese on a hoagie roll.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like
do you
you said,
remember those?
little salt, little pepper. That's it.
Yeah, you remember those poppy seed rolls that you would get from the deli? Yeah, you can't have them outside of New York. You go outside of New York, they don't taste the same. I think it's the water.
Exactly. My brother-in-law had an idea to get a couple of tankers and bring water out to make bagels and sell.
I haven't had a
big pizza
bagel.
crust.
Oh my Lord.
Just imagine.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen. Adrian's dream is to visit New York City. Nice.
Nice.
A little talk about Night of the Living Dead. Such a great film. Now, I'm sure when you first watched it, you didn't get like the social commentary behind it or anything. That probably took a few rewatches.
Oh yeah, I was still quite young. I was only a couple more years. I think it was like 7 or 8 or so. The social commentary behind it, no. As I got older, though, watching it more and more, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched it, even as an adult. You get to understand what was coming across in that film.
Yeah.
As a kid, No, same thing in Friday the 13th. I honestly didn't know what was going on. Like at 5, you don't really know death.
Mhm.
I mean, not many kids at that age understand death or understand what Jason Voorhees is doing.
Right?
So it
True.
was just a great film to start off on.
Monkey sent me. I'm loving the new people in the chat coming out for Cat tonight. So welcome.
Nice.
Welcome. If you like what you see, stay a while, hit the like button, all that good stuff.
Definitely make sure you subscribe.
Please do. Original Night of the Living Dead on 4K going for 40 at Best Buy currently. Huh,
Wow.
pretty good. Night seems so real. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the black and white aesthetic had a lot to do with that too.
Yeah, well, my first zombie movie, and you know, as I got older and looking into it, now that we have the internet, going back, Night of the Living Dead is the first zombie film. I mean, you can count White Zombie, which was Bela Lugosi, but that was more of Haitian and the powder being blown, right? So that doesn't
Yeah.
not technically reanimated flesh. Whereas in Night of the Living Dead, like for me, I was like, oh my God, that's like insane.
Yeah, but
And
even
seeing,
White Zombie, if you go back, that was more of the early.
yeah,
We've been talking a lot about lore, lichen lore, vampirism, all that
nice.
stuff, and that's kind of like the original lore of zombies, the undead, and even that had social commentary because they were using these people as like
Yeah,
workers, dead man
yeah.
shift, literally. That's what it's
Yep.
called. So there's something about that too that that's a topic for another night. But remember first saw Night of the Living Dead, still a wonderful movie. Even saw a local community theater spot put it on. Okay, stage
Nice.
production, pretty good, dope. Long Island iced tea used to be hard to track down the
Yes.
recipe if you don't. Yeah, and those were the the cheap drink when you went to the club.
They
That was the
were.
special.
They were. Nobody makes a Long Island iced tea like anybody on Long Island. You go
Very true.
outside of Long Island, like I live in Alberta, Canada,
Mhm.
and you can go and get a Long Island iced tea. However, it is a pre-made mix, and I'm like, that is not a Long Island iced tea. That is some shit in a cup. That is not Long Island iced tea. This is how you make a Long Island iced tea. Oh, well, no, you
Yeah.
want a true Long Island iced tea? That's how you make it. None of
Yep.
that mix in a friggin' bottle shit.
No, 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 no. Sorry, Dell. I know.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take a quick weekend trip, hit Gray's Papaya, hit a couple pizza spots. Keep it real,
Yep.
you know.
Nobody
Uh,
has bodegas here either, and they can go. Oh,
oh,
I miss bodegas as well.
mm.
That's just something. The
I
food in
stopped at
there, the
one today to get some
empanadas.
gas, and it was
Mm.
crazy. Raw cones, Swisher Sweet,
Oh yes.
do-rags, all behind the bulletproof glass. I was like, why do I feel like I'm home?
Yep.
Of course, incense burning in the place. Great times, great times. Validation
Yep.
Canadian. I like that. Gotta love that bacon, egg, and cheese from the local store. You got to.
Yep.
Oh, Monkey Ben, you got to see the OG.
Yes.
Criterion is your friend. A day early, I would have said 50% off, but yeah, good stuff. All right, we got to move on from the food. People are getting hungry. Let's see. Yeah, it was low stock during the flash sale yesterday. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Nice,
Mhm.
nice. All right, so we're going to talk more movies. Enough talking about food because I am hungry and I just ate. So
I just ate too.
go figure. So we're going to spend the majority of time here on this question. So I posed to Kat, hey, name some of your favorite spooky or creepy movies. And I like her choices. Some of them we've spoken about, but they could be revisited because she's going to bring the totally different flavor than what we spoke about. So what do you have for us?
It follows. Now, do you want me just to give you the list and then go into like a synopsis of them, or
One at a
just give you
time.
the one and then a synopsis?
One at a time.
All right, so It Follows. I really like this film. For those of you that haven't seen it, I'm not going to give you any spoilers. For those that haven't seen it, it's a young woman. She's followed by unknown supernatural forces, and it all starts after she has a sexual encounter. It's like a supernatural STD.
Yeah.
right? Just supernatural STD. I thought it was very well made. And there is one scene, it's the opening scene on a beach. That's all I'm going to say. That stuck with me. I seen that.
Mm,
I was like, oh yes. Okay. Let's follow this.
yeah. The thing I like about the movie is that it has a lot of 80s feel to it.
Yeah.
Storyline could have easily been something I'm watching on a VHS in '86. Um, the
Yeah.
score, the score with the synthesizers is straight '80s cheese. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that we couldn't get enough of in that time, and to see the whole movie plays like a homage to the '80s and the spooky, creepy movies that we used to watch,
Yeah.
and to do it in modern day and put a modern spin on it, but still have that old school feel to it, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Such a nice balance of things. But then you talk about, once again, the social commentary of it. What is it saying?
It,
What is
it,
it saying with this
it does quite
supernatural
a few
espionage?
things. It
Mm,
keeps up with the horror trope that if you have sex, you're dead. Like
right.
that's the biggest thing in horror, right? You have sex, you're dead. It keeps up with that. But it talks about mental health. It also talks about physical health and sexual health as well. I think a lot of people miss that, but after you watch it the first time, you get to see the visuals, and then you watch it again, you get to see some of the other stuff that you may not have caught that first time around.
Mhm. We speak about that quite often, the fact that, surface level watching, that's your average Joe, whatever, one time Friday night new horror movie. But then, for us collectors, we get it home, we watch it, rewatch it, and you start to see underlying things. Not everything is a A24 movie, but you start to
Right?
see like the deeper meanings to the movie. We're actually going to talk about one of those movies, but
Yeah,
yeah, it hits you different, and from the
it
beginning,
does.
you just knew it was special. You knew there was something special and different to this one, for
Yeah,
sure.
I enjoyed the atmosphere. I enjoyed the storytelling. The acting was good. There really wasn't much I did not like about the film. And if there was, I honestly don't remember anything that I didn't like about it. There's some of the visuals were creepy. That big guy, that big tall guy. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say anymore. I don't want to ruin it.
Appreciate that. Dell says "It Follows" is amazing. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. The problem-solving solution at the end was clever. Agreed.
Mhm.
Score, imagery, Micah Monroe, just great. Yep. All Detroit in It Follows. Hmm, interesting. Didn't know
Nice.
that. Love It Follows. Also, love his follow-up Under the Silver Lake. Really underrated. Yeah, I never got to that. I gotta
I'll
check
have to
that
put
out.
that on my list. I'm actually going to type that down right now.
Yeah. Let's see. I love the in-chat conversations going back and forth. Keep that up. Keep that up. Definitely
Hmm.
more than one watcher it follows. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why when Second Sight came out with this, I said I'm gonna splurge on it. It's a nice limited edition box set.
Nice.
I don't really get off on art cards or whatever, but this book that's in there, my goodness, everything that I wanted to know about the movie will be in this book. I think
That's awesome.
it's like it's a book.
Yeah.
It's a Barnes and
That's
Noble
cool.
type book. Uh, yeah, definitely. If you only watch it once, give it a rewatch. You get so much more out of second and third watchings for that.
100%. I agree. If you liked it the first time, then definitely sit down and watch it again. I usually watch movies about 3 or 4 times,
Hmm.
and if I really like it, it's usually like a 10-time watch for me.
Yeah, It Follows made me need to watch Casper ASAP and appreciate it so much more. Yeah, low key, another movie you rewatch and you see so much more in it. Uh,
Mhm.
didn't know on the movie Monkey, big tall guy.
Monkey is
Uh,
very tall.
how tall?
Monkey,
I'm
you're like
6'5".
6'5" or something like that.
Yeah. Ooh, the Fog, the original, nice.
It's a great movie.
I just went to Carpenter Fest here in Kansas City over the weekend. The Fog, The Thing, Christine.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Uh, Silver Lakes feels more like a total conspiracy theory odyssey, less horror, but really good creepy moments. That's all I need. Up,
Hmm.
you said my favorite director right there. If you like your Hitchcock references on the sleeve, it's great. I don't know if you could
Perfect.
see him, but right there is the man Hitch. I have a poster back there of him.
Nice.
So let's see. I'm gonna blind myself here. There you can see it.
I do. I see him.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Always looking over my shoulder.
Nice. I love Alfred Hitchcock as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. A lot of dents on my foreheads from the top of door frames, for sure. For sure. Shout out to Jordo with the movie recommendation. I like that.
Hmm.
We got Mark in the house, Tales from the Shelf. I saw you pop in here before saying what's up, y'all. Coming in with the super chat. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our guests. Yes, please subscribe to Reanimate Her wherever you
Thank you.
go. Easy to find. What's the
Yeah.
next one? Let's move on. Second movie.
You'll see a theme to mine. Smile. I know not a lot of people liked Smile. I really enjoyed Smile. It had a lot of great stuff to it. And it basically, this lady witnesses a bizarre and very traumatic incident involving one of her patients. And the psychiatrist becomes increasingly convinced that she is being threatened by an uncanny entity. Very similar to the It Follows, but not a supernatural STD, more of someone smiling. And I really enjoyed this film. I've watched it numerous times, basically back to back, because the first time I watched it, I was thrilled. Like I was into it. I wasn't really paying attention to everything else that was going around it and what it meant. I was just into the film itself. And then I was like, okay, I have to rewatch that. And then I watched it as and analyzed it, right? Seeing what's coming from it. I know a lot of people didn't find it scary. I know the trailer kind of ruined it for a lot of people. So don't watch the trailer, by the way,
Yeah.
because don't watch the trailer. Just watch the movie. I like that it touched on a lot of subjects. And the biggest thing is mental health. Again, for me, mental health is a very important subject that we don't talk about enough. And I love when films bring that in without, blatantly say it's a mental health movie, but you get to see it. You see what she's going through. Yeah. I don't want to give anything away, but it's a good film.
Yeah. Um, I liked it enough, but not enough to watch it several times. Like,
Yeah.
for one, shout out to Kevin Bacon and Kira for having this child who is now an actor herself. So
Hmm.
I think the trailer just it told a story, but it told the story too well. And there's this
Yep.
new thing where the trailers end up being better than the movies.
Yep. Because they show you the best part in the movies, right? And I was just like, don't do that. Don't show that. So I tell people, don't watch the trailer, watch the movie.
Hmm.
It's got a good visual. It has a good storyline. It's got some moments. Put it to you
Mm,
that way. It's got some moments.
yep. And the thing is, it also had a great marketing campaign.
It
Uh,
did.
People smiling at baseball games, creeping
Yeah.
other
And a
people out.
creepy ass smile too, right? It's just,
Hmm. For sure. For sure. That's the thing. I had fun with it, but like right now, there's a beautiful 4K steelbook out, and I'm
mhm.
like,
I'm going to try to get my
I'm
hands on it.
good. I don't even want it. What's up, Gunchi? Checking in from Taiwan. I got to say that every time. Good morning, sir. Appreciate
Nice.
you. He's up early watching us. Um, Jordo saying he still needs to watch Smile. Heard a lot of fun comparisons to The Ring. Yeah, I could see that comparison
Yeah,
a
not in
little
the
bit,
same mythos.
a
Not in
little
the
bit.
same mythos as the original Ring is definitely based on their culture, whereas when we remade it, totally kind of washed that out.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Could see that.
close. Mhm.
Could see that. Nice double feature.
Yes, it would be a good double feature.
I really think I mean, it was successful for, I believe it's Paramount. I could see them getting a sequel. easily.
Possibly. It started out as an indie film and it went
Mhm.
over so friggin' well
Yep.
that big production company was like, okay, we're going to get our claws into this. And that's what they did because it was an indie film right off the get go. And it started out as indie. It hit the film festivals. And then people saw the potential in that film and decided to snatch it.
Yep. Yep. Poor Dell. Like every short guy, I'll forever swear that if I was 6'5", I'd be an NBA superstar. It's not that easy, my friend. Because everybody else your height is a point guard by the time we're adults. So yeah, just think about it. Steph Curry, 6'4", 6'5". Keep it real. Love Smile, also how it looks at mental health and trauma.
Big time.
We're going to talk about those two and something else in a few minutes, but I'm seeing a trend in popular horror movies the last 10, 15 years. Mental health issues, trauma, triggers, grief.
Yeah.
Whether it's surface level or underneath. Those
Mm-hmm.
three. It's kind of like that's being the conduit to
'Cause that's
writing
some
like
scary
great
shit
horror.
right there. We
Yeah.
deal with that in our everyday life. Nothing is scarier than real life. It doesn't care what kind of movie or horror movie you're watching. Nothing is scarier than real life.
Hmm.
And the fact that movies are now putting these things in there, it hits you on a different level. Unlike, don't get me wrong, I'm a slasher girl. My favorite is Jason Voorhees. My second is Bubba. I'm a gore horror all the way. I love shocking and disturbing films. However, these films, they have a different thing that hits differently. And I love that the younger generation are getting in on making these types of films and bringing this stuff more awareness to mainstream than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago.
So true. So true. So well said. Keep hearing good and bad about Smile, very polarizing. That's why you got to give it a shot. Try it
Yeah.
once. Try it
You know
once.
what? I'll always tell people that if the movie wasn't for me, I'll tell them, it's not, I won't say I hate a movie or don't watch a movie because art is subjective and I find any movie, especially horror movie, art. So what I like, you may not like and vice versa.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'll always tell someone my honest opinion. If they ask me about the film, did I like it? I enjoyed it. And this is why I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
disliked it. And if they didn't see it, I won't spoil it for them. But if they did see it, I'd be like, well, I didn't like it. I didn't like it for these reasons right here. It wasn't for me, but it's for, everybody else.
Yeah. My biggest thing is check it out for yourself. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Serial killer saying hello.
Yes,
What
my buddy, my brother from another mother.
I like Smile more than I thought I would, but not one of my faves. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the monkey asked him where's the milk. I think he prefers rum. Haven't seen Smile yet. Had some distance from the trailer since it was everywhere at release. Only remember the big scare at the car. Yeah, and that was my nude.
Yeah.
That was my nude. So that's good. Maybe you'll enjoy the movie more than I did. Yeah,
Mhm.
not a repeat watch for Melissa. Yes, Smile is on Paramount Plus, so it is a Paramount movie. Okay.
Yep.
It will always be profitable. Yeah, it's true because fans are dedicated. They want to go early, so they're going to be first weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, because the best way to experience a horror movie, I don't care if it's Nun 6, is
Mhm.
first weekend, crowded theater with all of the other horror aficionados around you. Once it gets to the second and third weekend, it's Curious Nellies. But that first weekend, it's all for you.
Mhm.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, yeah. Tell your kids real life is way scarier. And that's why movies are an escape. I don't care what kind of movie it is, it's an escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Art is subjective. They're having fun in the chat.
Oh yeah, with Barbie.
So do I. So do I. Double feature 4K set. Smile and The Shining. Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting. I would go
That's
for
a
the
pretty
low hanging
interesting.
fruit and say Shining and Doctor Sleep, but that's me.
Mm.
I like the
I thought
simple.
Doctor Sleep was better than The Shining.
A lot of people are thinking that too.
I
It's
never read the book, so I can't really say
so
anything about that.
so good. Pleasantly surprised when I saw it. Miss Jess in the house. Hey, lady. One of the Lost Girls in the house. Thanks for joining us. We had a great conversation last week. Let's see. Do. She Kratos and serial killer are having fun in the chat. Yeah, I agree with you. Opening weekends, however, not Nun 6. I know you were done with the Nun from the beginning. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to read King first and then the movie unless the novel adaptation is like a few years separated or whatever.
Yeah.
Read both books. Yeah. I think I read The Shining when I was like 16, 17. I was into King heavily, so Carrie, Pet Cemetery, all of them.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, let's move on to the next one because they're going to start to see the relationship between them.
Yeah. I know this one's still in the theaters and I will not spoil this one. Talk to Me. Talk to Me is an Australian made film, horror movie, and it's conjuring spirits by using an embalmed hand, and they become hooked on it. And it's a really great film because this one touches on so many important topics for today, for today's society. It touches on addiction, and if you've seen Talk to Me and you're like, well, what does she mean addiction? You'll see if you understood the. I don't want to say the addiction to what, but there was talks about addiction, and again, more mental health. The visuals were good. Kind of slow in the beginning. So if you do go to watch it, just keep that in mind. It's kind of slow in the beginning, but there is some brutal friggin' scenes in it, brutal scenes. I love the ending. I thought it was, the ending was great. The acting was awesome, and it's Australian made. It's an independent film. Well, not fully independent film because A24.
Yeah.
But as it started out, it's really cool how the movie started out to create, not the filming, but how they started to create that film.
Yeah.
It's got some really good visuals. It hits on very big topics, especially for today's society. You get to also see another culture. Australia has a completely different culture, and they're very similar to Canadians, except for some of the wording. Definitely some of the wording. But you get to see a whole other culture, and I love international films for that reason because I love other cultures' mythos and legends and their storytelling. So you get to see a whole other world when you watch Talk to Me.
Yeah. I wanted to see this as soon as, unfortunately, I seen the trailer, but there was something alluring about it, something different. We say we're tired of the sequels and the adaptations and the requels and all that stuff. So here is something trying to be original. And once again, we're talking mental health, we're talking trauma, we're talking grief. We were talking about this just last night.
Yep.
The fact that the main character also always has yellow in the scenes with her,
Yep.
representing grief,
Yep.
representing, sadness, loss,
There's
whatever. So she's either wearing it or it's on her or it's behind her. And, symbolism, but, people
touches on a
say
lot of
highbrow
topics.
horror because it's A24. People expect that, but
Yeah.
I thought it was so well done. Mika said here, favorite horror of 2023.
So
Melissa
far,
said,
mine as well.
happy surprise. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've watched it a couple of times. I think I've watched it 4 times now within the a lot of time that I've seen it, that it
Yeah.
came in onto my TV. But it touched on a lot of topics, and I know YouTube is very touchy when you talk about certain things, so I'm not going to say the other topic that it actually touches on.
Yeah.
But there is another topic it touches on as well.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, my friend trying to spoiler free talk about it and describe it, say, so kids get together and instead of doing drugs, they play with the hand. And it's like, are they really instead or just another type? Really? Because I mean, there's a montage where it's like, yeah, you might as well have some pills on the table or a couple of
That's where
blunts
the
being
addiction
passed
comes
around.
in. That is exactly where the addiction comes in because you can see that, right? That's just they living off of that high.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a drug to be an addiction. That's the thing. And we get addicted to so many things: video games, shopping, food, Makeup.
Sugar.
I'm addicted to eyeshadow. I'll buy like 5 million kinds of eyeshadow, even though I don't friggin' need it. And half the time I don't even use it.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, as Mika was saying, it's an addiction, grief, big time. Love how they incorporated those themes. Yeah, and they didn't bury it either.
No.
It's pretty surface level. You don't have to be highbrow to figure out what's going on in this one. And like you were saying, it comes from a different culture than what we're used to here in the States, a little more similar to what you have up north. But I think it's good for us to see that, to
Yeah.
see the similarities, but also the differences. The differences is where you get the connection. Um, yeah, it's definitely probably one of the best ones of the year. I swear I saw it on a streaming service. I don't know if it's on any streaming service. Is it? Oh, it's streaming now.
Yeah, it's streaming now. That's how
Okay.
I seen it. I don't really go to the theaters much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know they have it on physical, so that makes sense. If it's on physical, it's probably streaming as well.
Yeah. They had a hand. This is way too expensive for me. I mean, I love I'm a huge collector, and it's
Really?
got to have. And the hand was now if I was in America, it wouldn't be so bad. $110 is really nothing. I spent $110 on tiny stuff.
Mhm.
However, once you convert it, exchange it, and ship it, it's almost $200 here.
Oof.
And in my eyes, that hand is not worth $200.
Unless it could do what it says.
Right? Right? I better be doing
Yeah.
some other things.
Yeah, I saw it. It's like a porcelain hand that A24 is putting out, but
Yeah.
crazy. Let's see. Let me watch it at hers. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Oh, look at
Thanksgiving weekend.
Mika and Kira ordered the set with the hand. You go, girls.
Nice. And
That's
if
gonna
it
make a
wasn't
nice.
so expensive, I would order it too and have it in my collection. It's just $200. It's just a bit steep for me.
This might be in terms of the conversation we're having. I think this might be the post of the night right here. Trauma and mental illness make the world go round in flames. The true horror.
That it is.
Perfecto. So true.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
And we all have trauma. There is not one person in this world that does not have a trauma
Mhm.
or some sort of mental health issue. You don't have to have, you don't have to have huge mental health issues to have a mental health problem. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And there's
Everybody
no
has
such
dealt with
thing as a
something.
small trigger. Triggers are triggers. So it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Talking about the boogeyman. Haven't seen that one for the year.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
It's on my
Surprised.
list.
New Yorkers came out with the hand first. You and your guests know what I'm talking about. I'm leaving that one alone. But yes, we do. Notebook addiction. I have leagues of empty lines I will never fill in storage. Sounds like my movie collection. I got rows of movies that will never be watched, but they're there. I'm gonna
Yep,
do
I have a
something about them
whole
soon.
bunch.
Yeah. Good comments going back and forth. Thank you for everyone in chat participating. Yeah, we all have them for sure. Monkey says I'd only buy the hand if I could buy two. Oh, facing each other. Funny. Where would they go? Good choices so far. You got some more
Thanks.
for us?
Yes. I didn't think I was going to like this one. So I have a story behind my fourth one. I'm not into a lot of these films like Ari Aster and stuff like that. But this film, I had to watch it because I am a part of the Calgary Horror Con. It happens every year here. And my buddy, serial killer, and myself, we do the panels for the Horror Con. And we were interviewing one of the characters, Millie. And so I had to be forced to watch this movie, Hereditary. And I didn't watch it at all. I mean, it came out in 2018, and I was just putting it off. I'm like, nah, that shit's not for me. I'm just not going to watch it. And then I watched it, and I was thoroughly impressed. I actually liked it. Hereditary is about a grieving family, and they are haunted by a tragic and a disturbing occurrence. So basically, there's some stuff going on in the supernatural realm, and I didn't realize this movie was gonna start off coming out of the gate so hot, and I wasn't expecting some of the things to happen. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm gonna tell you to go and watch it. This is somebody who doesn't. I'm not into those kinds of films, I never watched Midsummer because, again, that's not my kind of thing, and I was just why waste my time? But I started watching Hereditary, and I finished it. I was actually very impressed. Very impressed. I didn't like the ending. There were quite a few things I did not like about the film,
Mhm.
but overall, as a whole, I would definitely tell people to go and watch it, especially if you were just like, "Nah, it's not for me."
Yeah. Um, that was probably one of the best films I saw that year. But the twins laugh at me because I say I don't own it as a physical media collector. For this very reason, Melissa nailed it right here. It's one that stays with you. So my watch
Yes.
is very anti-exorcist, so I cannot own a copy of it. I'm just doing that out of respect. But also, I'm not gonna have Hereditary in my house. To me, that's just bad juju. I don't need it. If you know juju, there's bad
Uh-huh.
juju. I don't need
Yep.
bad juju in my life.
And I agree, Toni Collette, she does it amazing. You've seen this movie is really based on grief, and it's just very well. As a parent myself, you can kind of see the pain and the anguish that the whole family going through, but really
Mhm.
herself going through as a mother, and yeah,
Yeah. And once again, the theme of grief driving people to do things they probably wouldn't normally do or react in ways that they wouldn't normally react. Um, yeah, a lot of people, big Ari Aster fans, best working right now. Big fan
yeah.
of Beau's Afraid. That movie is anxiety ridden. Wow.
Mm,
It's just like, if you don't suffer with anxiety, but you say, "I don't know what that's like. I don't know how someone who deals and suffers with anxiety, I don't know how you feel." Just watch that movie. I mean, I think he
mhm.
just put pen to paper. This is anxiety on screen. So, yeah. Ugh, that movie. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say.
I haven't seen it yet. I have enough anxiety in my life.
Yeah, you don't need more.
I have
Yeah.
my little anxiety ring that I play with all the time.
But, back to Hereditary.
Yeah.
Besides the things that we mentioned, besides the performances, especially Toni Collette, there's other things that just layer on top of each other. Every time you watch.
Hereditary trauma,
Yeah, yeah.
generational trauma throughout the
Mhm,
family. Like
mhm.
there's a lot there.
Yeah, yeah. And to put that all in a quote unquote horror movie, because there's so many different subgenres that you could break this down into. I it's a lot.
Yeah. And
It's a
it's
lot.
funny how people don't understand generational trauma and that it's a real thing, especially when it comes down from the family. And we have that in society. There's a lot of generational trauma that happens and it just keeps it in the family, right? Until
Yeah,
someone actually breaks the cycle.
yeah. So true, so true. And, I didn't want anyone making that noise around me, like, for weeks after I first saw it. I'm like, "Please don't do that. You
That
think
was
you're
great.
being funny right now, but please don't do that."
It sticks with you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure, for sure. Um, quick count here. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, this last one. This is all you, this last movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I like it. It's an
oh,
old
before
one.
we go, last comment here. Screaming at her son scene is the one that stuck with me most, just the raw frustration.
Yeah.
Every mother has dealt with that frustration.
Yes, we have. Oh my lord, we have.
Yes, yes. I know, and I'm not a mother. But yes,
Mm,
let's go
yes,
on
we
to
have.
your, 5th movie there
My fifth
because
movie is an oldie and a goodie. It's about possession as well, and it's called What Lies Beneath. The wife of a research scientist believes that her lakeside Vermont home is haunted by a ghost, or that she is losing her friggin' mind. Another one that's based on like mental health. Is she seeing what she's seeing is real? Is she cracking under the pressure? Or is the house possessed? Like, is this a ghost floating around? If you haven't seen What Lies Beneath, I really enjoy that film. Michelle Pfeiffer. Um, what's the guy's name there? Harrison Ford. Good movie. Good
Mhm.
movie. I've seen this in theaters. I really like it. What Lies Beneath is in my physical digital media collection. I thought it was really great. Not only, I don't want to, do I ruin it?
I
No.
know.
And I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. If for those of you that haven't seen it, you youngins out there that haven't seen it, go check out What Lies Beneath.
And the funny thing is, it's advertised as a thriller.
Yep.
I would dare say thriller? Psychological thriller?
It's supernatural involved.
I think it's more
There's
supernatural.
possession involved. There's a point in that film that there is actual possession. Yeah, it's like The Entity, but that one's more like that one's a little crazy.
Yeah.
You haven't seen The Entity from the 80s.
This definitely satisfies the creep factor as far as
Yeah,
being
it definitely
creepy.
has a creepy factor to it. And she
Mhm.
thinks she's going insane, you know? Which for women, she's an older woman, menopausal 40s. Your husband is this good looking guy. And I'm that age. I'm an old bitch, and I'm there in the late 40s, and I can relate now to seeing that film and what life is like, and what she was going through and what she's feeling. And just seeing that now, I couldn't relate in my younger years because I can't even remember when that movie came out. I seen it in theaters, and then I
2000?
seen it again numerous times after that. But
Yeah.
a lot of self-esteem in that one. There's again going through the stages as a woman, dealing with the different emotional levels, mental health levels. Uh, you can see I kind of like those films.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. This one, like I said, the creep factor is there. It's because you truly don't know what's going on. You're
Nope.
questioning sanity,
Yep.
and you're questioning, I don't know, like you said, entities in the home. And
Hmm.
at certain points in the movie, you feel one way, and it's beautiful because it allows you to shift and think the other way. So it's like it's playing with your mind in a way because that question mark is always there.
Yeah.
Of
And
all people, Robert Zemeckis
yeah.
did this one. Weird. You were about to say.
I was gonna say that they hold the storyline really well that you don't realize you're not even sure what it really is,
Mhm.
and then it comes out, right? They don't ruin it in the first half of the movie. They don't ruin it towards the middle. It's not a slow burn movie. However, the plot or whatever does play itself out throughout the film. They don't just spoil it right in the beginning.
Right. Right.
Well, it wasn't predictable to me at that time, I should say.
Yeah. This is the only one I haven't watched recently, but just by seeing the name of it, I was like, "Ooh, I wanna watch that
Mm,
one again." It's been, like, a good 20 years since I seen it because it was 2000 when it came
yeah,
out. So you're
yeah.
right, 20
It,
plus
it
years ago, you didn't feel any of that.
No, I didn't. And double feature and Kira both saying, about the women changing the mental health, the change of life when your kid is leaving home and moving and becoming their own adult. I recently just went through that. My youngest is turning 20. She moved from home all the way to British Columbia with the rest of her family out in BC. And oh my Lord. And yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not that old, 44. You're still a youngin'. I'm 46.
I'll leave that one alone. I am 2/3 of the way. We have 3 kids. My oldest and my youngest are out of the house. We have our middle, AKA the roommate. So
Yeah.
it's still a different dynamic because even though she's still in the house, she's a grown woman and she has her
Yeah.
own life. So like like Mika was saying, it's like trying to figure out what your life is now. it's just a totally different dynamic because
100%.
it goes from that childbearing and rearing, and now I told my cousin or my dad, I can't remember. I said about my son, I said, I'm like his coach now. I give him a play, and if he runs it or if he doesn't, it's not up to me. I just
No.
pull him back to the sideline and say, so you see where you messed up, right?
Yeah. I have 3 grandbabies. Put it to you that
Aw,
way. I
that's
love them.
beautiful.
Little demons.
Sounds like you love them.
I do. I love them. I introduced them to horror.
Nice. What will be
Yeah.
the first one?
Well, I've already started with them with the cartoons of like Frank and Weenie and all of the Tim Burton, Beetlejuice,
Mhm,
Addams Family. So I started them on the small kitties horror stuff.
mhm,
The eldest is 7 and she loves Chucky. She's never seen the movie Chucky because she's not allowed yet.
mhm.
However, I've got a life-size Chucky, so ever since she was little, it was her size, and so she would go and hang out with Chucky and Tiffany and play with them and have tea parties with them.
Aw,
So she doesn't really know what Chucky is. So
yeah, yeah. Chucky kills people.
yeah,
Couple of comments on What Lies Beneath. It is pretty good. I haven't watched it in a long time either. Yeah, great pick for sure. Dell recently watched it for the first time, really enjoyed it. Yeah,
nice.
very nice. Michelle Pfeiffer gave a great performance.
Mhm.
Made the monkey see Indiana Jones in a different light. He is
Yep.
talented, man. He had a nice run with movies like Deliverance and Witness and Fugitive and all that stuff. So Harrison Ford is the man.
Mhm.
I remember this. That was like a fun fact that she was terrified of water, and there's a scene where she's underwater for a while.
Yep. I don't know
Woo.
how she did it because I'm deeply terrified of water myself.
Mm,
I haven't seen any shark movies, any horror movies that are in water, I have not seen. The
wow.
only movie I have seen is Jaws.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, who knew that?
Mhm.
Clever Pot didn't see the twist coming, saw it in the theater as well, received applause at the end. When's the last time you seen that? Wow. Yeah, we put that one up before. Imagine how badass the ghost that haunts the house of Catwoman in Indiana Jones. Yeah, meow.
Right?
uh, Turning 44 in November. Old bitch, I like it.
I call
Did
myself
I
the
get
old
you a
bitch
tea
all the
that says
time.
that for your birthday? Uh, the monkeys are coming together in the chat. It's a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
They are truly monkeying around. You're both young. You notice I just smiled. I just smiled because I got you both.
Mhm.
Yeah, say it again for the people in the back. Underrated. Yes.
100%.
Oh yeah. When they start driving, you learn a
Scary.
new kind of prayer, even if
A
you
new
don't
kind of
believe.
fear, new kind of horror in your life when your kids start driving.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
lord.
Especially if they don't have their own ride. Ooh.
Yeah.
Uh, I keep telling people you're 45, so I decided I am right. Just go with it.
Yeah. Just roll with it.
Yeah, she'll just say last year. Frankenweenie, underrated. I agree.
I love Frank and Weenie.
Tim Burton was my jam. That's how I bonded with my bestie, who also has 2 grandbabies now.
Nice.
Yeah. Skipping down a bit, Corpse Bride, also a good one. Yep.
Mhm.
Burton.
Mhm.
Burton. Um, Best friend's turning 44 on the 25th. I'm forcing her to birthday by planning it all, so she also gets a mom always planning mental break. Yeah, moms need that.
Moms need mental health
Moms
breaks
need
as
that.
well.
Um, Believe it or not, Tyler Perry's Acrimony got a round of applause in my theater. Hey, I was the outcast because this made me burst out in laughter. Yes, his wife loves those Tyler Perry movies and stage plays put to film. So he's a good husband. He goes along. I give him credit. You're a good man, Dell. You're a good man.
Applause.
Applause for your picks too. Good picks.
Oh, thank you.
I like the the theme that kind of goes along and kind of comes full circle between the mental health and the trauma and the grief.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of shit went on in my life in the last few years. So
Mm,
seeing the movies talk about it, they stick with me more. I can relate to them more. It's not that I need a horror movie to relate to enjoy it. It's
right.
just sometimes seeing that other people are going through it kind of makes you feel a little better about yourself. You know, okay, this is shit that's going on in the world. You know, others are going on in the world because a lot of the times you feel alone and you
Yeah.
feel like nobody is going to understand you. Nobody knows what you're going through. And it's just not true. And the films, you know, they show you that's not true. Even though some of them are like, you know, people don't believe you at first, but then they find out in the end that it was real.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. So true.
So I found them very creepy and creepy, eerie in my world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The monkey has a question for you. What's your opinion on Mr. Boogedy, the Disney film?
I fucking love that film. I was talking about Mr. Boogedy from a couple days ago. I'm like, anybody remember Mr. Boogedy? And because you know, I hang out with a lot of people that are quite younger than me when I live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And some people knew what it was, and then I had to go and tell them about it and talk about it. Mr. Boogedy, yes, hands down, I enjoyed it. It's something that something I will show my grandkids is Mr.
Yes.
Boogedy.
Yes. Definitely.
100%.
Good call, monkey.
It's a good movie.
All right. Let's knock out these other questions and go home.
Yeah.
All right. So number 3, name a horror movie that everybody loves, but for some reason or another, you don't like it that much.
I know there's quite a few. I just can't remember them all, but I know one recently. Everyone loves this movie for some reason. I still don't understand. It's 2 movies. So they're indie films. The first one I'm going to tell you is Skinamarink. I didn't hate it. It wasn't my film. It wasn't, I didn't, it's not for me by any means. I understand where the director was coming from with it. However, everybody effing loved that film. And I'm just like, the first time I watched it, and I'm sorry, Kyle, the first time I watched it, I couldn't even make the first 15 minutes of it. And
It seems
then
like a fever dream.
yeah, and then I had to watch it because I was interviewing Kyle at the HorrorCon as well with the cast of Skinamarink. So I watched it again and sat through it. I understand where he was coming from. I know there's a lot of people that have that childhood trauma because that's exactly what that is.
Yep. If you didn't know.
However, the visuals really hurt it for me, and I could not get into it. But I definitely see where he was coming from. People love it. People love that film. And another one is Outwaters. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Outwaters either.
Hmm.
Another indie film. I love indie films.
Yeah. The thing about Skinamarink is that a lot of those childhood traumas and nightmares and all that stay
Mhm.
with you. That's why so many people, when they have dreams, they dream of their childhood homes because it's
Yeah.
kind of like the source or the location of that trauma or those nightmares.
Yeah. And he used his childhood home in the movie.
Yeah.
And
See?
I know a lot of people related to that. A lot of adults that I've talked to that love the movie can relate to the scenes in that film. I, on the other hand, could not. I mean, I understood. I would sleep over at my grandma's house, and she had all the pictures and everything like that. And when you're sleeping over with your cousins and you think you see things, you kind of get that scary. But I never had that type of trauma that they were showcasing in the film.
Hmm. I hear you. Found footage one, I can't remember the name currently, as my meds have one at the demon being recorded on camera. Are you talking about Sinister, the one with Ethan Hawke? Because we were just talking about that last
Or
week.
is it Dash Cam?
Might be Dash Cam. Yeah.
Was it a recent found footage? Because Dash Cam is another indie film. Basically, no, it's older. Oh,
No,
oh,
older.
oh my God! Demon being recorded on camera.
Huh. If it comes to us by the end, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, Blair Witch, but I don't remember the monster being in there.
Told my sister she could let my niece watch it if she has no desire to sleep alone for the next 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
Skinamarink is
mommy,
not
I
a movie
can't
for
sleep.
children.
Late teens, many movies in the series.
Is it an anthology?
Maybe. I don't know why I'm thinking like, "Are You Afraid of the Dark?" But no, that's not it.
If
It'll
it's
come
me,
back to us. It'll come back
yeah.
to us. In the meanwhile, number 4, let's answer that one. Name a horror movie that needs more love. People don't talk about it. It doesn't have a popular physical media release or a streaming. What's one of those films that more people need to know about?
Oh my God, I have so many. One of my most favorites that I find that a lot of people have not seen. Obviously, it's from the 80s. It's Intruder. It has Bruce Campbell in it. Bruce Campbell's not in it throughout the movie. Just a heads up, he's towards the end. Intruder is a really good slasher if you're looking for one. I think that's underrated. God, there's so many. 976 Evil,
We'll
I
be
think, is
talking
another
about that
one.
one soon.
Wes Craven. Not Wes Craven, sorry, Robert Englund, directorial debut.
Yeah.
Practical effects, cheesy as hell.
Sometimes those are the best ones.
Yeah, and Intruder is good. I know it's starting to now just get some momentum out there, so if you guys haven't seen the movie Intruder, go and look for it. I know if you have Shudder, it was on Shudder a long time ago. I don't know if it still is, but it's a movie that when I was speaking about it a couple of years back, nobody knew what it was, and I'm just like, it's a great slasher. It's a really good slasher movie.
She was talking about Paranormal Activity.
Well,
Proof that hanging
Paranormal
put off
Activity
the
in
bed
one
was
movie.
indeed a valid fear. That was
Oh,
what
yeah.
she was trying to remember.
Yeah, see, Paranormal Activity was not for me. I tried to watch the first one and I said, nope. And then I never watched any more, except I did like Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. I
That
enjoyed that one.
that's one of the streaming only ones, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. The Intruder is such a fun one. Grocery Store Mayhem.
Grocery Store Mayhem is exactly correct.
Nice. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you for everyone who's checked in, been watching on the replay, like I said before. We're going to get this lady out of here with this question. So, finally, number 5. You've been through it now, so I ask
Yeah.
you, who do you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
I would love to see you have a conversation with Nerdy Hillbilly. I believe Double Feature knows who Nerdy Hillbilly is as well. Nerdy Hillbilly I met him back in the day with the Merkins from like the Slash Street Boys. I met him through the Merkins. I love the Merkins, and they're here on YouTube as well. But he's great. He's an actor. He's getting into acting. He is a YouTuber. He loves horror. I think he would be a great guy to sit on your show. He loves movies, every movie, all kinds of movies. He loves them, and I think he would be a great addition as a guest on your show for loving movies.
Nice. I wrote it down. I wrote it down
Hmm.
because that's how you got here.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy him.
It's nice to have it come full circle. And it's been a pleasure to have you on. I'm a fan. I'll just say that. Once again, just tell everyone where they can find you.
Sounds good. Thank you again for having me on here. Thank you to your community for welcoming me. I greatly appreciate it. I'm always nervous doing these things. So it's nice when the community is very welcoming. But if you do want to watch my content, you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm on everything. I'm like Frank's Red Hot Sauce. I put my shit on everything. That actually didn't sound too nice, but I do. I'm everywhere.
I love it. I love it. Yes, follow her in all the places, as we like to say. Thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you, BFF. Thank you, Mika. Yeah, the community is solid. I like seeing all the different spokes of people and kind of getting them to know each other and cross
Yeah.
paths and everything. Thank you, Miss Kira. Caprice, can't wait to catch a replay. Yes, thank you for stopping in, Sunshine. Good to see you. Thank you, Mr. James. very good guest. So that makes all the difference right there. The monkeys are still talking. Brother Dell, thank you, sir. Everyone, thank you for popping in. I'm trying to remember who's my guest tomorrow. Oh, we have the lovely Lisa, aka Horror Macaroni, returning. We're going to do something a little different, a little special for her as a returning guest tomorrow. So stop in, check Instagram for a time, link, all that good stuff. And as I always say, go watch a movie. Have a good night, everyone.